Hello and welcome to the Touchline podcast. This is the show where we talk about the games, transfer gossip, and all the latest news in the football world. I'm joined by Kalash, Vishwa, and Hesham today. And the first game was West Ham versus Manchester City. And Vishwa, what were your thoughts on that one?
Obviously, we knew he was going to win that game. Manchester City, they extended their winning run. 13 points clear at the top. Obviously, John Stones, second half strike. And yeah.
I don't think it was
Mahrez.
obvious that Man City would win that game.
We expectations.
City were a better team. City were obviously. We all knew City were going to win, but as the game went on, it looked less and less like they were going to win. And in the end, it wasn't. I think that it's debatable if City did deserve to win, but I think West Ham could have easily got a point from that game if they were a bit more clinical.
Yeah, they were unlucky, but I think it's one of those where West Ham played well and almost sort of, set an example to a lot of other teams that have played that, they're there and they can really get top four perhaps.
To be fair with City, most of their games it's a 1-goal win. Like they don't thrash teams like they used to in the past.
Well, they don't need to thrash teams, do
they?
They
didn't need to.
Against an example, the Tottenham City game. Well, they could have easily scored more in that game, but they got their goals and they kind of just took the foot off the gas and they just controlled the game with possession and stuff.
I felt like they didn't need to do anything in this game. Really, I didn't really see anything that I didn't think they pushed in this game. It was just sit back.
I think Guardiola made a point of they played Wednesday and Saturday morning, so it was never going to be a spectacular win.
Yeah,
they just need to get over the line and do a job.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
De Bruyne back and bold class assist.
Yeah, Lingard also as well, getting an assist.
Lingard played quite well. Like he showed he can mix it with there's so many.
He's been playing well for
him, and he just mixed it. Like every time he got the ball, he dribbled forward. His dribbling was very good. His passing, got an assist, but it was quite good. Played well.
Okay.
So it was talk about Leicester versus Arsenal next.
Yeah.
Which was at 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Leicester would win. I thought they comfortably beat Arsenal, but Arsenal were actually very good. Their players performed, the ones that haven't really been performing, like Willian and Pepe.
Yeah.
So the players that usually perform for Leicester didn't perform.
Yeah.
For example, indeed, he had a shocking game. Just usually, also
Harvey Barnes is.
Well, he's injured. I heard he's going to get some surgery on his knee.
Vardy's out. Vardy was terrible as well. Just players that usually see performing for them. Also, the miss of Maddison was quite big for them. They had to revert their whole system. They played a 4-4-2 where they usually have someone in behind Vardy, and they brought Iheanacho in the game, he's been quite underwhelming.
I mean, Leicester did start the game off well, but then Arsenal they took control of the game and they showed good attacking intention.
I wouldn't say Leicester started off amazingly. They had that one moment with Tielemans, which was the goal. Yeah. But apart from that, they were just getting pegged back. They weren't good the whole game, really.
Yeah.
So I think Arsenal
kind of lost their footing after their goal. They kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this place is a big. I mean, Chelsea. Obviously, they're in the top 4 race. This could mean that Leicester could scuff.
Do you reckon this is the start of a collapse?
I think so.
Last season, they looked like they weren't going to bottle it. They were second at the league at one point, and then they completely bottled it. And I think I can see the same thing happening again, and I can also see them surviving from this. But they have been quite unlucky with injuries. Like Harvey Barnes might be out for a while.
Vardy as well.
Maddison might be out for a while. For a bit. They don't really have any
James Justin wings. As well.
With Justin as well. They don't really have any wingers in the squad that really perform for them. Yeah. That's the thing with Leicester and why they struggled last season, and they may struggle to find their footing in the top 4. They don't really have any squad depth. I'm looking at their bench right now. Fuchs, like Daly, Campbell, some youngsters that haven't made any starts with the first team. They don't have any depth apart from their first squad, and I feel like they tried to bring some players in, but they brought in like one or two players, which really didn't improve. Like Maddison was out, Harvey Barnes might be out for the remainder of the season, and now they have like literally no quality going forward now.
I mean,
But
Leicester do have an easy run of fixtures coming up. They've got Burnley, Brighton, and Sheffield United, which I feel that they can easily bounce back from, though. So that's an easy 9 points for them, and that they
Yeah.
can.
On
Yeah,
the
but
other
Leicester,
hand, I do think that
Leicester last
Arteta,
season
this
they
is a big.
lost. They had relegation form near the end. Like they lost games they could win. I could see that happening. I could see them just falling off like this. They could just drop from here and they bottle top four like they did last season.
all right. So the next one was Spurs versus Burnley. It's one I'm quite excited to talk about because it was a great performance. We actually played good football for the first time in what feels like forever. And Gareth Bale may just be back with two goals.
He
Do you think?
assists Harry
He-
Kane as well.
Yeah, that was a great little ball. Do you think Bale's back?
I mean,
you
he's only
literally never know. Like I don't know. It could just
He
be
did
he needs
win
to-
against Burnley, which
Yeah.
is
it could just be a Burnley thing. But but like it is Gareth Bale. Like he's like there's glimpses of like his former self, and I feel like if he just finds consistency, which he sometimes lacked in when he was at Madrid, then maybe he could like be really good. He could be really good for you lot.
Also, Gareth Bale does need to run the games in as well because he is very injury prone, and if he gets injured, he'll be back to his old form.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's a really important crunch time. Really, come to the end of the season now with the Europa League and come to the end of the Premier League. Well, we're still in the top four race, so it's important that if he's fully
You are
fit,
quite far.
alongside Kane and Son,
You are quite far.
we're still in the race. We're still in the hunt. There's still a chance.
I mean, you're only 6 points off fourth
Yeah.
place, though, so
With a
it's
game in
not-
hand. So I do think he can play an important role.
I don't think he'll finish top. Like there's too many good games for you lot.
He can help you in the Europa League.
He has been
Yeah.
quite decent in the Europa League, but it is against like farmers. You never know. Yeah,
Still,
good
like
performance. You guys actually attacked from the off, and it shows that
Yeah.
if you guys
show
do play
possession.
on the front foot, you can play good football. But yeah.
Also, I was really pleased with our defense as well. Today, Aurier was back. Reguilon felt like he was properly back, and Sanchez and Alderweireld like a good partnership. And again, it was Burnley, but still, we have
it
had
was
some
fun.
defensive shockers against pretty bad teams.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so next game was Chelsea United, and this was a very boring game in my opinion. Like we weren't even playing to win. It felt like we were just playing for the 1 point, and I felt that Chelsea had far more chances than us and probably should have taken them. And I felt that if the game had gone on a little longer, they probably would have ended up scoring.
You were quite lucky with the draw. Obviously, Chelsea. What a performance!
No. We did deserve to win that game. We created a much better chance. Like Ziyech had a chance where he should have scored, should have buried
Yeah.
that.
And a few people are still bringing up the VAR controversy, including the manager himself.
I mean, to be honest, I don't personally think there was a penalty because Greenwood got a hand on it as well.
Yeah, and also, what was Ollie actually talking about when he was talking about Chelsea's website and Frank Lampard?
Yeah, he was talking about outside sources, which
What
is
was he on about?
absolute.
And then Luke
Yeah.
Shaw waffled about him hearing the
Yeah.
referee. No, they just waffled. I didn't get it. For
I
us,
heard
Harry
like,
Maguire.
Luke
Yeah.
Shaw could get a little punishment for that.
yeah, no, he won't. It's,
They've hate punishment.
but for me in that game, it was like more of the same. We dominated possession. We did create some chances. We just lacked that final ball. That's why Ziyech was brought in. For me, we just can't get there's like Mount's good driving the ball forward, but for me, like in an advanced position, we need like like Havertz. I think Havertz, if he gets to his best, he can be the player that finds that final ball. People say Drew played poorly. He did play poorly, but he didn't really have any chances, did he?
Yeah,
I mean,
think that
Hudson-Odoi
game.
he was quite good as well.
I mean,
I
Hudson
think
went off at half time because
Yeah, but he had an injury, I think.
He had an injury.
He was injured. That's why he came off. That's why Reece
Yeah.
James was still good though. Again,
Yeah, Reece
we were
James,
putting in balls. We were putting in some good balls, but like no one was getting on the end of it. So yeah,
I mean, Mendy in goal is it
suspect.
does. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a bit.
Never looked comfortable.
Like shot straight at him, and he's just, what is he doing?
I know,
Yeah,
punching like
I literally thought that was a goal.
The moment when
gonna
he
stop trying.
the ball as well, and I thought that we'd score. That was like one of the only chances we were getting. Though we didn't deserve to score at all.
We were solid defensively, but there were chances when, like, especially Bruno
Christensen.
had a stinker. He
Bruno.
terrible game.
I think he got the
yeah,
least.
he
safety
gave the
score
ball
rating.
away 21 times.
Another terrible game against the top 6 teams. It's just
But
Yeah.
it's
lower
not just
half step
Fernandez
back.
though; it's the whole of the team. They've only scored one goal against a big 6 side, and that was against us in the 6-1
That was
loss.
a penalty as well against
Yeah, against
Yeah,
us
that
in
was
the
a
Spurs
6-1.
in the 6-1. Yeah,
Haven't scored
So-
a single open play goal against a big 6 team.
but I do
Yeah.
think that Spurs result has kind of scared Ollie to attack from the off.
Yeah,
I think that's he's kind of scared now to attack. So he's like, if I just defend, then we won't lose. I think he's playing not to lose instead of playing for the win. And you guys have good attacking talent, but yeah,
Well, I think a draw would have suited Manchester United more than Chelsea.
yeah, because we're really
So
they're in the top 4, whereas we're
Yeah,
Brighton.
exactly. Even if they draw, they still have high stakes and come in second. Obviously, I do praise them for picking up points along the way as well. You know, they conceded very little goals. So.
I saw their run against the top
But there's
6
no
teams.
conceding little goals if hardly going to score. Because the aim of football is to outscore the opponents, and we're not scoring against the big 6 teams.
Yeah, even in January, the draw against the horrible Liverpool at Anfield, I think they should have won that easily. But
I mean, Liverpool had chances that game.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's
There was
Liverpool,
there was one chance for United where counter attack, like a
the
3-on-2.
McTominay one. Where,
McTominay. I'm just saying, if Pogba has the ball there, he's finding someone at the back post, then
or even
probably
like Van de
Martial
Beek.
probably misses sitter or something.
The ball there.
Well, he hasn't played in ages. He's injured as well, I think. So
I mean, Ziyech, that chance was horrible. Really. Could have easily finished that off.
It was a very good save.
It was a
but
good save. It was a good
top
save.
corner. That wasn't horrible. Like it's not his. Like he did hit it well, but like he could have scored that. I'm just saying, if Havertz is there, he's probably netting that.
Yeah. Okay.
Final game. Liverpool, Sheffield United.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a comfortable 2-0 victory for Liverpool. Curtis Jones got the first goal, and then the second goal was a known goal from a Firmino shot.
Brian, the guy who scored against you lot, in goal. It was Liverpool. We're gonna win it. Like they aren't in great form, but this is Sheffield United. Like they were gonna beat them, but they're still 6th. But they still can push for the top 4.
There's only a 1 point difference between Liverpool and Chelsea, though, and you lot are facing each other next week.
I think it will be a win. Personally, it should be a win. If we don't win, then
I don't know.
I don't want to see any more draws. Yeah, we'll see.
There's a huge game, that one, in the top 4 race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can win that game, it's massive for us. I think if we lose,
we've got big teams.
Terrible result.
We've got Liverpool.
We've got Everton soon after that as well, which is a massive game in the top 4 race for us as well. We have a hard run coming up, and then we've got home too, and I think we've got Leeds. But yeah, it's a pretty hard run of games, and it will really test us because if we can get points against Everton and Liverpool, like 3 points against both teams, like we can challenge for the top 4. But if we just draw both, I don't see us. Because I think Liverpool probably hit some form near the end, and we don't really know. Leicester could just drop out the top four completely.
Everton have a game in hand on you as well.
Yeah. Okay. West Brom. We won't talk about the game, but there was a bit of VAR controversy. West Brom versus Brighton. West Brom did win, but that wasn't the main talking point. Dunk took a quick free kick within the first half, where Lee Mason ruled it out, then gave it as a goal. Then in the end, he ruled it out completely. And what do you lot think? Do you think it should have been a goal? What do you lot think?
I mean, it's referee incompetence. I think, like the referee, he's just confusing the players. He's confused VAR as well. Like I felt a bit sympathetic for VAR because the referee had made a massive mess of the situation.
For me, he's blown his whistle twice. When Dunk first takes the free kick, Dunk takes it a fraction of a second after he blows the whistle. That's a goal. So I don't know how he's gone to the monitor and then not giving it as a goal.
I don't know how the monitor could help you make that decision as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The VAR, I think VAR is not used properly there. Like we do slate VAR, but it's not used properly.
Yeah, like in the Champions League, they use it properly. Like in the Atletico Madrid Chelsea game, that like they saw that the ball came off the Atletico defender, and they rightly gave them the goal.
And in the whole of Europe, it seems that VAR is working quite smoothly.
In the Champions League, it worked. Like they use it properly. It just looks in the Premier League. It's just maybe we blame on VAR, but it might just be the referees.
There's been a lot of these things as well. Southampton, Wolves, West Brom United, Arsenal, Leeds. It's been many matches.
Yeah.
VAR referees.
There, of course, need to be a few modifications in VAR, but I wouldn't go as far as scrapping it. I'd just modify a few of the rules, like the offside rule. I'd allow a margin of like a few centimeters to be given.
I think I think you just need to go VAR. Like it just slows down the game so much, and like you can't celebrate a goal without knowing if it's going to be offside or like if a last minute winner. You have to wait to find out if it's gonna. You can't celebrate it properly. I think that's ruining football. You can't really celebrate like I just don't like it.
Well, yeah, for maybe a couple of inches offside.
Yeah.
I remember there was Anthony Taylor was saying at the start of last season, and he was like, "Yeah, VAR's in place to sort out the howlers, the ones where you look at straight away and think that's a bad decision," and it's not really been doing that. It's been going for the mere technicalities.
Yeah, if it's used for what he says it's used for, then yeah, that's calm. But
I mean, VAR, the purpose of it is for clear and obvious errors, and
it was half a second.
They're just looking at all the small, tiny errors.
There's things like where like someone puts their hand up calling for the ball and it gets ruled out, and it's like I'm pretty sure the rules are something like it's a goal scoring part and it's getting ruled out for that. So I'm just really not. I'm not sure what the rules are. Whatever the rules are.
They tried to define the arm as below the sleeve line.
Yeah,
which is just really confusing.
It is confusing but like whatever the rules are, they're not being implemented properly, are they?
And like they change the rules like every single week. Like I'm confused as to like what the rules are because they change it like every couple of weeks.
Yeah, and also diving. It's really increased. It's a diving culture these days where a bit of contact and VAR is going to look and a penalty may be given. I think that needs to change. And referees have to be a lot more harsh on diving as well. Yellow card straight away. You've got lots of players.
I feel like.
I remember at the start of last season, like VAR were hardly giving any penalties. Now,
I was gonna say
they're giving too much penalties.
Too many. Yeah.
If it's used properly, then it's calm. It's just not.
Well, we touched on it a little earlier, but it's about the top four race.
Yep.
Who's in it? Who do you think is going to make the top four? And
well, obviously it's going to be a fascinating top four race. I think. Obviously, we've had it in the past, even last season.
I think it'll go down to the final day for sure. I think there's so many
Yeah.
teams. It's been the most
Yeah.
competitive top
Be
four race.
exactly like last season where it went down to the final day and when there were like 3 teams in it.
Well, but last
definitely-
season we because it was United versus Leicester and Leicester in terrible form. We pretty much knew that who was going to finish in the top four. Wolves weren't playing well as well, so then Chelsea were probably going to get a result. And United.
I
probably
definitely
get
do
a
think
result.
Chelsea are going to make top 4,
I
especially with their strength and depth. And obviously, we've been unbeatable under Tuchel as well. So, yeah.
Well, I
Well,
do
there's-
think that West Ham will drop out, but I think that it'll be City, United.
We've been saying West Ham are going to drop out the top 4 for how long, and they're still in it. They're still playing well, so I don't know if they will.
Maybe said that about people saying that about Leicester when they won the league. Like they'll drop off, but
Yeah, we don't. We
didn't
keep
say-
saying that they're going to drop off, but like now there's like 10 to 15 games left. They're still there.
they're definitely a contender.
10 to 15
And-
They're
games.
definitely content. You can't
West
just
Ham,
rule them out.
United and Arsenal coming up, so they've got a tough run of games.
Yeah,
But like, look at their performance against, what's it called? Look at their performance against City. They've shown that they can mix it with the big teams.
Even Everton could fancy the chances as well. Tottenham and Arsenal, they've
think
been
people-
performing good as well.
people
you
sleep
never
on
know.
Everton. I think
I
Everton with a
don't-
few games in hand, some good players, good manager. I think there's a chance they can make top 4. I wouldn't rule out Arsenal either.
Yeah, Arsenal have.
They're not too far off. I think they've got to be a candidate.
They're 8 points off Arsenal, so it's not that far, but it's not that near though.
All it takes is for them to win maybe 3 or 4 games in a row, and they're well in it. And that's the same for any team. Spurs, Chelsea, maybe even like Aston Villa.
Up though in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So I personally think that it'll be City, United, Liverpool, and Leicester.
So no Chelsea.
No, I think Chelsea will miss out, but it'll be very close.
Oh, you really
I
do?
don't know if I don't know about Leicester. I mean Liverpool. I mean, yeah, I don't know about Leicester. I think I'm seeing something similar
think
to
it'll
what
be-
happened to last season. I can see the same thing happening
Fairly-
around this. No, but I'm seeing like this is what around what happened last season. They were around 3rd at this point, and they just put 1 loss, a couple of injuries, and then they just hit terrible form. I can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there are other teams, but that's why I think Chelsea will get in ahead of Leicester.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I think Liverpool will pull together. They have a good enough team.
Mm.
I really don't think that Liverpool are going to make it top 4 this season. I just had this.
Liverpool are way too good.
Yeah, I think
They
they
just
will.
hit some bad form. Like it just takes them like a couple of games to win, and then they'll probably hit like a really good form near the end, and they'll just get top 4. I think it'll be quite comfortable for the end. I think
Yeah.
we'll finish 4th. I think, and then I think it'll be a struggle between Chelsea, Leicester, a few of those teams, and West Ham and all of
So
them.
who would
That's what
make
it
out
is.
the rest of the top 6? And so if we're saying Chelsea, Liverpool, United, and City, who makes
Yeah.
out the rest of the top 6?
I think it's going to
No.
be Tottenham and Arsenal.
Tottenham and
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I don't think
Arsenal.
Uh,
Arsenal.
you've got Aston Villa.
What about
as well.
Maybe
Leicester
not
and
Arsenal.
West Ham? You think
Yeah, Leicester. and West
Arsenal's going to
Ham.
finish
Leicester
above
and West
Leicester and
Ham.
West Ham?
So,
Arsenal not
so
going to.
no Everton.
It'll probably be Leicester and West Ham.
Yeah, no Everton
not?
as well. You think
No Everton.
Arsenal probably finished like where they finished last season, 8th.
It's a rough season. Let's see.
They're
We'll
not-
see.
I think
they're nowhere
anything
near
between 2nd and probably 8th is very unpredictable.
8th.
And it could be.
Obviously, what do you mean? 2nd and 8th.
You never
anything
know.
could happen, right?
Like Villa, same France points to Spurs with the game in hand.
Yeah.
When Grealish comes back, they could push the top 6. Literally anything could happen at this point. I don't think Arsenal will finish.
I don't think you can rule out Arsenal. I really don't. Not with their squad, and they've shown that they can play all right.
No, but they have a good team. I think there's better teams than them in the top 4 race this season. Right. So I guess we'll end with our team of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. We'll start with goalkeeper. Who have you not got in?
I put Guaita from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he had a decent game for Crystal Palace. It was a pretty boring game, but he got a clean sheet
Yeah.
and played well.
He made a few decent saves for Palace as well. He
I
made
put in
he made the save at the last minute from Josh Madger to deny Fulham of a last minute win.
Played well. All right, yeah. No, what did you put?
I got Sam Johnston.
Yeah, I put
Yeah,
some.
he also had a clean sheet again, a few good saves and all that. Good performance.
I
in
would
general.
put Pope because I'm joking. Actually. No,
He was
yeah, Sam
Nah,
Johnson.
he was awful,
Nick.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's a shame because I do like Nick Pope. But there you go.
At right back.
All right.
I mean, I think it's pretty.
Yeah, I put Trent in.
Trent.
It's Trent. It's
Alexander-Arnold.
Trent.
Trent,
He
it's
played a sick game and created so many chances.
Yeah.
Right, who have you lot put as your centre back partnership?
I did Davinson Sanchez and John Stones.
Yeah,
Yes.
Davinson Sanchez and
yeah, same.
Stones.
I put
They both had good games. Yeah,
Sanchez surprised me. It's probably one of his best performances for Tottenham.
like he's
He's
still
joined
young.
well.
That's the thing, though. He can still make an impact. He could, like, you never know. Like, this could be the star. He could be an amazing player for you. It's just he's still young. That's the thing with Sanchez. He can still improve.
He's only 24 though.
Yeah, so for a
That's why I
centre
said
back,
he was
he's
young.
decent.
Yeah.
So I do
Yeah.
hope
yeah,
that
he's young. He's young. Yeah.
right,
Left
okay.
back.
All right,
Who have you lot put?
I put
regular.
Luke Shaw.
Why Luke
He
Shaw?
wasn't even that good.
Luke Shaw.
He was our best player that
Yeah, and your whole team was dogs, so I don't.
Yeah.
That's not a very high bar
Yeah,
to hit.
he was like one of our best players. Well, probably our best player. He created.
I didn't really notice much that he
Yeah.
did, to be honest.
Yeah, he
Right.
didn't really have to. He was okay at the back, to be fair. But like,
Created
What-
3 chances for us.
I would say Reece James and Luke Shaw. I think.
You put Luke Shaw as well.
No, I didn't put Luke Shaw. No.
Oh, all right.
Regulon, he had a
Or
very.
regular. I put regular.
Yeah, very good performance.
That's how
Who did you
as hard
put as
as
your
it is.
midfield? Yeah. Who did you lot put as your midfield?
I put Kante.
Kante and Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put the same.
Yeah, and then Curtis Jones as well. He was good as well. Right, front three. Who did you lot put?
Bale, Kane, and Son.
Bale, Kane, and Son.
What?
Yeah,
The full
Why-
front three.
You put
Yeah, you just
Son
put the
ahead of
Tottenham front
Pepe.
three.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Why?
mean?
How?
Well,
You see
I-
Pepe. Son
well,
ahead of
Tot- well, and
what?
Son,
Really
Son-
doesn't watch him.
he got
I,
2.
I know you probably didn't watch the game because Pepe was very good. Probably one of his best performances for Arsenal since he's joined. Yes, Son was good, but for me, he wasn't as good as Pepe was. Pepe was just so good for Arsenal. It was against Leicester as well. Like, put it against the team, I think Pepe was better.
Yeah, well, I personally think that Son was.
I gave it to Pepe as well. I didn't really want to put like 4 or 5 Spurs players in there.
You guys did play well this weekend.
Yeah, no, but you can't put 5 Spurs players in a best 11. I also put Kane and
Yeah,
Bale.
Bale and Kane are surefire players.
Yeah.
They both had an amazing performance.
Okay, thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you later.